wherever the shoot was. Good afternoon, everyone. Go ahead and call the, what date are we? January 31st. January 31st, 2023 meeting of the Lehigh Northampton Airport Authority Board of Governors to order. First item on the agenda is Go Birds! Go Birds! Yep. Now, I have to ask, is there anyone in the room a Cowboy fan or anyone online? Because there actually is a Dallas going to the Super Bowl this year for the first time since 1995. First time. Take pride in that.
After Bryson last Tuesday at the end of the show, he's like, really good Eagles fans around here. I'm like, well, yeah. Like the further east you go, maybe there's more Giants.
Okay. Next item on the agenda is the Pledge of Allegiance. Everyone, please rise. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you all. Select, can you call the roll, please?
Yes, sir. Paul Anthony.
Here.
Robert Brooks. Frank Fasciano.
Present.
Don Godshall.
Present.
Justin Grimshaw.
Here.
John Hayes.
Here.
Ron Heckman. Larry Hemberger.
Here.
James Irwin.
Here.
Jeff Maskin. Bud Reedman.
Present.
Mike Stershik.
Here.
Matt Turk.
I am here.
Chris Worley. Yeah.
Here.
And Tara Zrinsky.
Here.
Okay, we have a forum.
Okay, thank you. Do we have any public comment?
We do not, sir.
Thank you. Next, our approval of two sets of minutes. We'll do two separate motions. So I'll entertain a motion to approve the November 29, 2022 minutes.
So
Motion
moved.
by Glenn, second by Paul. Any additions, deletions, or corrections? Hearing none, all those in favor of the subject motion indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next, approval of the December 20, 2022 minutes. I'll entertain a motion to approve.
Motion.
Motion by Justin, second by Glenn. Any additions, deletions, or corrections? Hearing none, all those in favor of the subject motion indicate by saying aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Next, our reports to the committees, officers, and staff. We have treasurer's report first. Justin?
To accept the November and a preliminary for December, and I'll hand that over to Todd.
Good afternoon, everybody. We're just going to go over December, obviously, at this point, nobody cares about November. Next step, please. Always start off with our traffic. As you can see, we did surpass 2019 by a hair. We have a little bit of a bunch of delays, bunch of cancellations in December. It took our traffic down a little bit, but overall, good year, much better than what we expected. You can see the ones that are marked in green are kind of the best numbers for the month. Obviously, 2019, we had 72,000, and then in 2020, the 27,000 and change. Most of our comeback, again, comes mainly from Allegiant. You can see that on the bottom there, with Allegiant at 460,000 of that 912,000. And you can see that we're still lagging behind on our legacy traffic, American United. Always compare all throughput to all airports. You can see our throughput is pretty much in line with all airports there, 4.3, and this is all versus 2019. And seats were down some versus the overall average. Next slide. Again, you can see our traffic, you know, as far as what's going through the throughput, is much better than our peers. Again, at 4.3 versus our peers, which is negative 24%. And again, that's a lot of that is dealing with the fact that our recovery is driven by Allegiant. A lot of other carriers didn't have that low-cost carrier kind of take them through. And if you looked at just our legacy traffic, we would be in the -20s without the Allegiant there. You can see the only one that's ahead of us is White Plains, and they added, you know, so you see a low-cost carrier, Breeze in 2022, so that's why they're ahead of us.
Where does Breeze fly?
There.
Mostly for the destinations from there. Similar to the Allegiant model.
Is that the Brazilian one that was started up a couple years ago?
It's started by the guy who started JetBlue, David, I cannot think of his name, I can't believe that name
The
is
Brazilian
David Nealman,
guy.
yeah, so he also started Azul Airways in Brazil. This is about his fifth airline that he started, I believe, at this point. And they've all been successful, he's very good at it.
And you had some initial conversations.
We're still having talks with them, we've had several with them, and we'll continue to.
Next one. Look at the month of December. At first glance, it looks like we did worse than we budgeted, but we budgeted $430,000 of CARES in our original budget. And that money, as we talked about before, was pushed, the November, December money, approximately $1 million, a little bit over $1 million, was pushed into the 2023 budget. But you can see our net income was down 182, but again, that 430 is not there. Again, overall, all things considered, not a bad month, considering where we thought we would be at the beginning of the year. Next slide. This is just for the year. If you look at where we thought we would be for the year, we've obviously done much better than we expected. Some of that is by our head count, which I'll talk about a little bit more, but you can see down there that our income without CARES is better than what we budgeted with CARES. So I would say, all things considered, we had a good year. Again, a lot of that driven by revenue. We had some expenses. We were very aggressive in our expenses as far as hiring, but overall, we did a good job as far as revenue, airline services, aviation services, and parking. Those kind of drive a lot of that extra revenue, and then our headcount, which we talked about on a regular basis. Next slide. And you can see that kind of breaking down there, what's going on there. As you see, December, still 6% on personnel costs, but overall for the year, 11% on personnel headcounts, but non-personnel pretty close to where we thought. We're starting to see that number. I think when we looked at the utilities versus 3 months ago, it was about a 35% increase versus where we were actually versus last year, same time, it was over a 50% increase of what we did last year. This year, utilities, we talk about heat, electric, all those things, and that's reducing a lot of the inflation that's going down. Next slide. And then to talk about our cash on hand, we straighten that black line, this is 60 days cash on hand. You can see that we are expected to be above that. Some of the numbers changed slightly from where we were in the budget. It doesn't change the ending numbers, but it does change some of the timing, mainly because of the RACP timing as far as when we're getting that. It seems to be first or back. Any questions?
Just one question, you think we can crack 1 million passengers this year?
Every time we make that prediction, something bad.
Yes. That's like wearing an Eagles jersey. We're not gonna do that. No jinxes, dude.
No, I'm wearing the same Eagles jersey I wore the last 2 games.
There you go. Any other questions? All right, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Todd, good report. Okay, I'll entertain a motion to accept the treasurer's report.
So moved.
Motion by Glenn, second.
Second.
Second by Tara. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of the subject motion indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, Justin, you now continue in your role as the business committee chair.
So we went over some trash and recycling contracts, and Steve's gonna go through the numbers with us.
Great.
Thanks, Steve.
Good afternoon, everybody. This is a 2-year award for trash and single stream recycling services here at all 3 airports to award the contract to Republic Services of New Jersey. We did put out a proposal in mid to late December, looking for a 2-year contract with 3 optional 1-year extensions, actually beginning tomorrow. And we did have 4 proposals. You kind of see there, and I told out what the 2-year contract would be, but also if we went to the additional 3 1-year extensions, what the total contract would be. Republic Services was the low bidder at $129,888, and then a total of 5 years is $343,286. So that we would be budgeting for that in future years as we go through the budgeting cycle. They're here, they're ready, they're actually working out of their office here on Irving Street. That's where they'll be servicing our airports. So I would recommend that we award the 2-year trash and recycling services to Public Services in New Jersey.
We have a recommendation on the floor to entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
Motion by Glenn, second by Tara. Open it up for discussion.
I just have one comment. The fact that they're from Allentown, that they have a base here, I think is really important, especially since what we try to do as an airport with the fly local. I think that, you know, when we have a service, it should be someone that's in our geographical region, so.
Yeah, we agree. And it helps with changeover and contract dates of the day. They can
Right.
kind of deploy.
Yeah, on the business end, it helps a lot too, but just, you know, I just wanted to throw that out there. If we're going fly local, we should try to stay there.
Yep, agreed.
Hey, John, this is Paul Anthony here. Is that amount all inclusive? There's no like fuel surcharges on there? Any recycling charges, upcharges?
All that was included in the monthly fee, and I don't have the exact breakdown, but it's the dumpster, it's X amount for the yardage of dumpsters, X amount for the recycling bin, and then whatever their transportation fees on top of that.
Just so there's no upcharges for fuel or recycling?
No, that 2-year number is the number, divided in half would be our annual expense.
Okay, thank you.
That's a good question.
Other questions, other comments? Okay, hearing none, we have a motion and a second on the floor. All those in favor of the subject motion indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Steve, thank you.
Thank you.
And Justin, thank you. Anything else for your committees?
Nope.
Okay. We're on to Tom, Director's Report.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Chair. As Todd mentioned, last year we eked out the 2019 numbers with 912,000 passengers. So again, inching closer to that other number you mentioned earlier that shall not be named. But when we look ahead at January so far, how we're trending this year, nationally, TSA checkpoint throughput is up about 4%. Here at ABE, we're up about 10%, all relative to January of 2019. So we kind of benchmark again against that last year before the pandemic, where our throughput is up again, which is nice to see. When we look at our scheduled seats in the market in terms of what's happening by our carriers in the schedule at this point, our scheduled seats are up about 14.8% over last February. So just looking at that month, and nationally, the average is about 9%. So still looking to trend very nicely that way. In terms of air cargo, we had a record air cargo year in 2022 with 200 and almost 38 million pounds of air cargo processed through the facility. That's our third record-setting year in a row from 2020 on. We keep eclipsing those numbers. December was our highest air cargo month on record, and that was about almost 29 million pounds of freight through the area. So continues to very positively grow there. In terms of activity since our November 29th meeting, January 10th, we had a Fear of Flying seminar, so we're bringing those back. Our next seminar will be in May, and those actually work out really well. We have a counselor here, we have an airline pilot, mechanic, others, that participate and talk people through the process of flying. So if folks are interested, signups are going to be posted on social media. You can do that online, and we'll get those out shortly here for the next seminar in May.
How many attendees?
It varies by class. We just brought it back, so I think it's typically under 10 based on class size. We keep it pretty small, and so there's a lot of individualized discussion that goes on there. On the 10th of January, we also had the bank consortium here doing a tour of the facility. So we brought the banks in and walked through the facility, the construction, and got them up close and personal with construction. That was great to do. On January 18th, we were in front of Northampton County's Finance Committee. We provided our annual airport update. I know Tara was there for that, and as well as Ron Heckman, I think, was chairing that as well. So always great to get into the counties and provide a little update. January 19th was National Popcorn Day, so we were handing out popcorn to passengers in the terminal. That was really popular. We're just going to do that. So January 24th and 26th, Darren and Connie were both out at a conference for the National Business Aviation Association. And we go every year. I think it was a really good conference to really get in front of our FBO and general aviation type clients and look at opportunities for new customers, new tenants, and think about where we build Hangar 12. So it was a good conference. On the 27th of January, our staff here, mostly our frontline staff, participated in human trafficking awareness training. It was provided by the Department of Homeland Security. So DHS was here with a number of other agencies to provide that training. I think it was very good for the staff to participate in that. January 27th, we also had a luncheon for our props recipients. Annually we do that, our positive rewards for outstanding performance or service. So 80 nominees, 23 folks were able to attend the luncheon, and really recognizing folks not just from the airport authority staff, but from our airline partners, rental cars, all of the stakeholders and employees that work here. Again, all customer-driven compliments, and it's really great that people take the time to recognize somebody who's done some outstanding things for our airport. And lastly, January 27th, PennDOT Bureau of Aviation Director Anthony McCluskey was here for a tour of our project and a little update on all things at the state level funding. In terms of upcoming events, February 7th, we'll be hosting East Stroudsburg South high school students. We're going to have a tour here of the facility and a little discussion on different aviation careers available. February 26th, we'll be participating in the AAA Lehigh Valley Expo, or Vacation Expo over at Wind Creek, so we'll be part of that. We're also working with Liberty High School's Career Fair, and that's on February 28th. And March 1st and 2nd, we'll be partnering again with Miller Keystone to do another blood drive. Board members can also participate in that. We'll send some information out so that can provide some details again March 1st and 2nd. Since 2015, the Airport Authority has donated 281 units to Miller Keystone, so we continue to really enjoy that partnership. And with that, that concludes my report, Mr. Chair. Happy to answer questions if there are any.
Just one comment, we've got the Lehigh County presentation March 22nd. So encourage everyone to the extent you can attend, and just be there in support of Tom and the team for the presentation to the county commissioners. That would be great. Couldn't make Northampton County this year. I'll certainly make that on my calendar next year. We encourage everyone to do so.
Absolutely.
Okay. Anyone have any questions or comments for Tom?
No, I just had a quick comment.
Sure.
I've had a couple of calls regarding the new restroom facilities across the field for the flying club, and I just wanted to pass along their gratitude. It was a long time coming, but very happy to have the new facility.
Yeah, absolutely, and we're happy to have it there, Larry, so thank you for the compliments. It's great to have a really first-class restroom facility for our general aviation tenants on that side of the field.
I saw a Cessna 170 take off today when I was
Yeah.
walking, which I didn't think we had those here anymore.
Oh, they're still around.
They're still around.
Yeah.
Good, good. Glenn, you had a question?
Just wanted to say to Tom and the staff, a tremendous job on the flight to the North Pole. My wife and I and Sherman were in attendance, and it was a tremendous event. Hats off to everyone who was involved with that. And any board members next December should, if you have a chance, take that event in. It's really very heartwarming to see these families and the kids and what happens that day.
Yeah.
Agreed.
So great job.
Thank you. Yeah, it's a great partnership with Pediatric Cancer Foundation. Benefited a lot of families and children, so it was really a great event. Staff looks forward to it all year.
Okay, let's make sure we get the date out so everyone, to the extent they can be there.
Sure will.
That'd be great. Other questions or comments for Tom? Okay, Tom, thank you. Good report.
Thank you.
Attorney Markron, anything on the solicitor's report?
Thank you, Chairman. Just a few things to go over. As the board is aware, our office did assist with compliance for a formal rejection of the right of first refusal on one of the Rockefeller parcels. So when Rockefeller went to sell it, the airport authority had first right to purchase, make the purchase if it was. We declined to do that due to the purchase price. Also, the agreement with Forks Township is with the Forks solicitor. She's reviewing the original agreement, and she has proposed language for the amendment, and I'll follow up with her so that we can close that loop. Then in the stormwater matters, the decision came down less than 30 days ago in the Westchester case. They have until Friday for an appeal So as you may know, the borough did lose on this, that it was found to be a tax. Therefore, the university, the state education system did not have to pay the stormwater fees. And I just learned today that council is trying to get that to be a published decision so that it will just carry more weight throughout the Commonwealth. We'll see where that goes and I'll keep you updated. In the meantime, our case in Lehigh County against the city of Allentown is now back in action, and there's a status conference in March where we'll go before the judge and just let him know, what needs to be done in the case. At that point, we'll know if there's an appeal, and if so, we will continue to stay the case just to get a final answer in this Westchester matter. And then also, we had talked about payments to Ameribridge, a vendor who had gone bankrupt. The final payment was made to the receiver, so that matter is closed and that's completed. And then, again, just some housekeeping on landlord-tenant matters that we do from time to time, nothing to report in that front. And that concludes my report.
Then we also have, it's time for the statement of financial interest bonus.
Okay.
So make sure we get that form out to everyone. All board members are required to fill it out on an annual basis, so we'll get that turned around. So, any questions or comments for Attorney Markon? Okay, hearing none, do we have any new business to bring before the board today?
Sure, I have one item. It's come to my attention that one of our board members is celebrating a birthday today. So I would suggest that we all sing happy birthday to Justin Grimshaw.
Was it the Chiefs fan? If it was the Chiefs fan, I'm not going back to the office today.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
We weren't on camera.
Happy birthday, dear Justin. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you, guys.
29 again?
Yep, all over.
Okay, do we have any other new business to bring before the board today? Thank you. And no need for an executive session, I understand? Okay, sounds good. And without that, I'd entertain a motion to adjourn. Motion by Frank, that calls it. Everyone